It has come to my attention that... I guess that doesn't sound right. I have been advised by my lawyer... No, not that either. Screw it, we'll do it live. Welcome, esteemed members of the press. Some of you might remember the big jewelry store robbery last week. It was all over the news. I was all over the news. You know, because I was busy stopping it in its tracks. For those of you who didn't follow the whole thing, I'll explain. Yeah, I'll explain everything. Let's back up to that morning. I was eating my cereal. Breakfast of champions, really. When I received a distress call from the police, who were already on their way there. I suited up real quick and hopped on my supercycle. Anyway, I'd never been there before. Necklaces like that are way out of my price range, you know, and I doubt they sell mood rings. So, I got a little lost on the way. Just one wrong turn, I swear. So, I get there, right? I get there and the police are outside, waiting for an opportunity to go inside, because Dr. Diamond and his gang are holding the manager at gunpoint. Dr. Diamond himself, not trusting the rest of them to do it on their own. We all need to move carefully at this point. There's no way they haven't spotted us outside, so we've lost the element of surprise. We decided the best course of action is to take it back. I'll sneak around the back and see if I can get in undetected to disarm them. It doesn't take me too long to disable the alarm and slip inside like a shadow. I didn't realize there's a kind of open floor plan, though, so there's nowhere to hide. So, they turn their guns on me, which does get them off the manager, at least, so I puff up my chest and say, "Looks like my work here is done." There's this awful silence for a few seconds where they're looking around all confused. The manager runs outside, and the gang of henchmen starts trying to rip me a new one. Or two. Or like 10. So, naturally, I have to fight back. I deflect the bullets with my bracers, and they ricochet off the reinforced glass cases until they go through the walls. By then, the police outside are storming inside, and it's absolute bullet hell. By now, though, the gang is done emptying their loot into these comically huge sacks. They run outside, and I start following to apprehend them. The head henchman whacks the chief of police in the face with his sack as he's getting out of the car. Then he takes the keys right out of his hands and steals the car. Police chief's screaming bloody murder, the manager's too shell-shocked to do much of anything, and might I remind you that Dr. Diamond hasn't actually left the building. He's too busy going mano a mano with the rest of the police officers. The good doc drops a flash grenade in front of all of us and ollies the hell out on his own super motorcycle. This thing shoots missiles out of its exhaust pipe. I can't make this up. He zooms past his henchmen, and with all those awful spots in my vision, I lose track of him. But the squad car is zooming down the city street, sirens on, and it's real easy to follow. I think that firing at the squad car could be okay. That my energy blasts might pop the tires or something. So I send out my supersonic bullet swarm. Rat-tat-tat, you know. That's when the street sign and the traffic light got, you know, peppered with bullet holes. Look, I didn't do it on purpose. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? There's this awful pop, though. Because I do get one of the tires. The car spins out of control and wham! Fire hydrant. Water everywhere. Not my fault. Now we're all getting soaked and everyone's walking past screaming, and the hatchmen start taking off on foot. My supercycle starts skidding and sliding, and I have to jump off and pursue on foot. So we keep this up for a few minutes, and I can do this all day, really, but they're starting to slow down in front of Barry's books. I take this opportunity to give them the biggest Jetstream retribution disc I've ever mustered up, but the biggest of them deflects it right into the bookstore. I tried to help, I really did, but they don't care about the poor books, so I have to keep chasing them. And naturally, tensions are a little high, you know. They stop near this alleyway, and I might have, allegedly, used my super strength to throw a parked bus in front of them to block their escape. There wasn't a soul on the bus, though, I swear. So, what I called you all here to say was, I'm very sorry for the bus. And I'm truly sorry for the bookstore. And my sympathies go out to the traffic light and the street sign. I apologize for the damage to the squat car and the jewelry store, too. My deepest condolences to anyone affected by the fire hydrant. I have been fined appropriately for my actions, and I will be paying our fair city back to the fullest extent and letter of the law. I will no longer run amok while pursuing those who would threaten this bustling metropolis. You may have noticed my lack of patrols this past week. My hero license was temporarily suspended as well, and I have taken the requisite time to reflect on my misadventures. You have my word that I will be less liberal with my application of energy blasts to solve problems. My supercycle license has also been suspended for 30 days, so I'll be fighting crime on foot and only on foot, unless there are any courageous rideshare drivers out there who are willing to enlist as a temporary sidekick. Despite these setbacks, I will be returning to crime fighting effective immediately, and I will not be answering any further questions. Thank you.